Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of We Don't Know What We Don't Know, coming to you from Galt, somewhere in the mountains of the United States of America. I am John Galt. As we always do, going to have a little scripture from some of our followers. Irish, Isaiah 43:18 and 19. Remember not the former things, nor consider the things of old. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you perceive it? Do you not perceive it? I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. Gives a little hope, right? SBK Mark 16:20. Then the disciples went out and preached everywhere, and the Lord worked with them and confirmed his word by the signs that accompanied it. Signs everywhere, signs. All right. Got some shout outs coming in. SBK, you got that. We can't do the same Triple G for all you that we throw trivia out throughout this broadcast. So if you know the answer when I throw one out, make a comment, make a guess, doesn't matter. Ed Sullivan shoe, it's a really big shoe. SBK Packers and Down Razor, Lost in Space, SBK and Packers. Can't do it, won't do it, wouldn't be prudent. Rad and SBK. Napoleon 14, SBK. How do you like me now? SBK. Arthur, I just think funny thoughts. SBK. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. SBK. Can't believe that. Nobody was really participating. Are you hating? Don't hate. Participate. Right? Casablanca. Of all the gin joints in all the world, right? Really? Nobody's a Casablanca fan here? Yakov Smirnov. What a country. The way you make me feel. MJ. Bam. SBK again. Don Razor, we really truly are, I think, kindred spirits from a lost time from long, long ago. You have to understand, AC/DC, that song that you actually in the comment gave the, whole lyric to, probably one of my top 10 all-time favorite rock and roll songs. There are those that know me and know that, I had a buddy of mine a year ago, hadn't seen for like 7 years, and he was driving, and he heard that song on the radio. And because he knew that was, it just triggered him, and he gave me a call. Anyways, kind of cool. Also, yeah, the Henry, I could have used a Henry that night in Florida, but pay attention, because in one of the woos, I'm not going to do it this show, I'll give you another life experience that I actually had a Henry with me at that time. And it was kind of like what you were describing, but in a much crazier way. Anyways, sorry we didn't do the woo yesterday, our last show. I just, obviously, with the chaos that I was dealing with on Tuesday night, I blasted through. I had... I had a pond growing in my basement, right? So it was like, finish the show. Show must go on, but I had other things to attend to. So we'll make sure we do one. I actually have the notes at the end. For all of you newbies, again, the woo, just a spiritual ascension exercise that we do at the end of the show. It's really more, I'm doing it to strengthen my own, what I hope is strengthening my own ability. And then we look for any that participate in it that can pick up on any of the images that I put out there, right? On my frequency, that can pick up on it to make a guess. And it doesn't matter whether you're wrong or right. Nobody ever has gotten 100%. We have some that are much more in tune with the vibrations, with the frequencies that I put out than others. But even so, I would encourage you to start your own journey, if you have not already, into these type of exercises, be it meditation, be it your daily spiritual, like, come to Jesus moment, right? I do mine mostly in the morning. At night, depending on how tired I am, sometimes I just go to bed because it's like, shit, it's 2 o'clock, I need to go to bed. And I'm really not tired. I may lay there for 30 minutes and I go into that meditative state. So wherever yours is, whatever it is you do, just practice it daily. Anyways, so what else we got? Boom. Oh yeah, rad. Um, in your comment about you and your wife, I mentioned that a couple of months ago, 3 or 4 months ago. I think it was really when we started doing this whole exercise. And it was in reference to like those individuals that you've known in your life where you could communicate literally sometimes with not even saying anything, other times with half sentences and they jump in, complete the sentence, carry on. I've had a handful of individuals in my life that I was able to communicate with in that realm. So, yeah, congrats to you and your wife of 44 years. Big shout out to you for that. Oh, yeah, PW, by the way, PW. The ceiling to floor drapes, you're like wondering where you could have got. When I was talking about the epic sunsets that you keyed in on, that was literally watching it from like this grand, say, great room in this huge home down in Punta Gorda that my friend's brother and his wife owned down there. As I alluded to, they had done very, very well, and I'm sure have done very well over the last 40 years, 45 years now, right? Yeah. So anyways, that's where that came from. X22 this week, deep state's watching the entire system be dismantled right in front of their eyes. They will try to stop Trump by pushing World War III. We're going to go more into this whole EU, British Commonwealth, all the bullshit going on. It seems like the entire Western world, Wayne's World, is against Trump. And they're trying to stop him however they can. You know, here's what I say. Pull all our troops home, right? Vacate all the bases in NATO, and then leave those sorry son of a bitches on their own. Let's see how well they do, right? Then go and take over Canada, invite New Zealand and Australia to join the United States of the Republic, right? But yeah, UK, Kerstarmer, Germany, France, Macron, Belgium, Netherlands, Norway. Sweden, not so much. Norway, definitely, though. You guys be speaking German, right? Do you not realize either that or Russian? One of the two. Show a little gratitude. That's like all you like lefties out there. All you want to do is cry and protest because I guess you're getting paid. I saw a clip where somebody was talking about the snow shovel brigade that needed 2 forms of ID in New York. That, yeah, just go sign up, register, get a shovel, and then just go home. They didn't even require you. You just had to, like, register. And they're going to pay you $30 an hour. Oh, anyways, it's a crazy world we live in right now. Trump will use the, to usher in peace, right? Cuban Missile Crisis coming on. We've got Mexico, the Mexican standoff, right? Designer, my heart goes out to you, girl. Yeah, we all have to deal with the craziness going on right now. And yeah, I mean, I don't blame you for looking to vacate the socialist country you live in. I'm looking to vacate a socialist environment that I reside in at this point for a short time, right? What else we got? Deep State, X-22, Deep State, the D's have showed the American people who they truly are. Now, obviously, nothing crazy came out of the State of the Union. We'll get more on that. But what a clown show it truly was, right? In front of America, they really showed everyone who they really are, what they're really about, what they really believe in, what they stand for. And it's not you, right? But you just keep paying them taxes, you good old boys and girls. But at the same time, they're becoming very desperate, all right? They're going to keep pushing and pushing the needle until you get to the breaking point, all right? They don't have a chance of winning the midterms unless they cheat. They have their minions doing this piece of shit Thune. I'm sorry, but you know what? As is evident now, oh, we just don't have time. Well, shit, you've wasted a month, you son of a bitch. You had time a month ago. Now we ran out of time to do the filibuster. Now, more on this later, but I heard that the EO, if nothing else, is at least drafted, ready to be signed. I checked. I could not find any reference that it's actually signed. That is the 17-page executive order that was drafted to enact fair elections. Right? We'll see what happens there. But we're getting to the precipice, right? Once people feel the moment of destruction, would you know, on the eve of destruction, something like that. They'll find a will to change, maybe. I mean, I hope. All we can do is hope. At this point, I mean, how long do we have to hope for, though? Right? I don't know. Charlie Ward, all his daily briefs he put up every day, every morning. It's like my first one because it's so quick. I'm just bing, bing, bing. 2 minutes, it's up. Catch the world through the lens of Charlie Ward. Monkey on Fridays, obviously we always have his Tuesday and Thursday show to talk about. One of them, they talked about the situation, the Strait of Hormuz, what's going on there. The other one was talking about the situation in Mexico, Mexico going red. Yeah, more on that later too. Fulford was back. If you were like a Ben Fulford disciple and you just took to heart without questioning everything that Fulford talks about, you would think that America is the evil empire, Donald Trump is Darth Vader, and that Canada, the UK, and the rest of the Commonwealth, I would have to assume he includes in there, all live in this state of bliss in Shangri-La. You know, everything's rose petals and ice cream and donuts and puppies, right? Don't forget the puppies. I love my puppies. They're coming along. I didn't have time to go up and get the little one. I mean, the big guy, I know he's not there yet. He is the most stubborn SOB. Even though he knows what we're asking of him, he will make you forcibly do what you're looking for him to do. And it's like crazy, right? And little girl is she's coming along so well. She just likes talking. She's a little talker. But anyways, again, maybe on Tuesday we'll try to integrate her into the show again, and hopefully we won't spring a leak. But anyways, Asian guy was back. I'm posting these daily and sometimes twice a day as the updates come in. because they really, to me, are providing a very significant insight into the future of the global economy. As I've stated many times here, I think that the entire Western global economy needs to come down in order for us to step through to the other side, right? I also feel, as stated, that it's what humanity has to endure in order to finally get the largest percentage of population to open their eyes. And I really believe that it is the white hats that are allowing the powers that be that are manipulating the Western paper metals market in the way that it's being manipulated. Because by doing so, you're minimizing, in my view, my opinion, the harsh reality that could be far worse if all of these major institutions, I'm talking about the HSBCs, the Deutsche Banks, the JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, probably Wells is in there, maybe not to the same degree, to unwind all of these trades that they've had on their books for years upon years ongoing as a means to soften the blow in the overall macro global economy. We'll see. The golden era. That term's been thrown around. And I see so many like of these ads, oh, get the Trump golden coins and da 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 da. I don't know about that, but here's what I was thinking about this earlier today as I watched the silver market after initial shock midweek bounce back. At the time we came to air, it was around 94, and the Western markets are getting ready to close for the weekend. So which way will it go on Monday? We'll look for updates and we'll bring it on and post it over the next 24 hours. Andy Schectman was back also, though, with Liberty and Finance, giving his insight into the reset and how gold, in his opinion, is going to be utilized in the new reset that is upcoming. And then Jim Willie was back. After a prolonged absence, we haven't seen him, but he explained the reasoning behind it in his discussion with House Street, right? That he does once a month. Haven't seen it. I don't think I saw one for February or the beginning of February. This is the first one with Howe, maybe since the first week of the year. But anyways, Jim Willie is relocated back to his homeland, somewhere in the southeast of America. Not sure what happened, what the true story is there. Seems like he had to leave kind of post haste by descriptions he was throwing out. Fact that he left a lot of like belongings behind. Not sure if that included his gal pal. I don't know. So we'll look for more updates, right? Another long time absence, though, and thank you, designer, for giving me the heads up. I caught that today, and it was like I'm late today. I'm trying to blast through this because I've got Friday dinner with the family that I have to hard stop at some point here soon, but. Q News Patriot was back with audio file 100. In the Telegram update that he provided, He gave insight. I did not listen to it, and he didn't really elaborate much on the audiophile 100 about it. But as we've discussed in previous episodes, we have heard that he was going through some like significant trials in 2025. By his account, they seem that they have now drifted into the past, so hopefully he's good and can move forward. So yeah, and he seemed, it could be me, he seemed to be going more to a rebranding, and so we'll see how that goes going forward. Jaco did a roundtable with a whole bunch of people. Nino, Patriot Street Fighter, Laura Eisenhower, and Brad Olson. And they went all over the board. A lot of it was and this was prior to the State of the Union. There was much discussion in that roundtable as to what, if any, tidbits of disclosure Trump would provide in the State of the Union. Obviously, there were none. And it struck me, and if you watch this, let me know in the comments what you thought. But it struck me that as we went deeper into the conversation, and Carrie was just being her normal self, that at least a handful of the participants tired of it. And, hey, guess what? Oh my gosh, look what time. Oh, the time. Gotta go. Gotta see you later. See you around like a donut. Anyways, Juan was back with Nino for 3 or 4 sessions. And it's really, I mean, only because Nino is broadening his scope when it comes to the guest and shortening the shows overall, but then always wanting to, hey, let's go over to Ninos.tv, right? Because we got shit here we can't talk about. I'm really tiring of it, to the point where I may like now go and post the Nino shows with all the now pick a guess, right? He had Ian Wint blasting all those that are going after Candace, for Candace, like calling out Erica Kirk. Obviously, Ian Wint and Nino are in the same camp as Candace. I would say that camp is evenly divided amongst the MAGA community. Let me know where you're at. Do you think that, she's just like a perfect little angel, and she's just like, I love Charlie? I don't know. I'm not making a call out one way or the other. I would hate to think that was the case, but in the same respect, I cannot discount a lot of, like, in this discussion that Ian went and Nino went into. You can't discount all the points that they are making that in a lot of times go along the same line that Candace Owen has been bringing up. And all those that are calling Candace Owens out, they made one very valid point, in that Candace looked at Charlie as one of her closest allies, one of her closest friends. And there are numerous photo ops, shows, whatever, that they've done together that you could say that's a bona fide claim that she is making. And on the flip side, for all those that are calling her out for this, that are all Zionists, you can't find, and this is the one thing, because I actually did a little research trying to go and find anything that would show like Graham Allen and Ben Shapiro or any of these other people calling her out that would be indicative of them and Charlie Kirk being buddy-buddy, being good pals, good friends. Let's go have a beer. Let's whatever, right? Draw your own conclusions, make a comment, let me know what you think. Let's be nice. Don't, play nice with your fellow followers. If somebody doesn't agree with you, don't be mean. Just give your thoughts, why you think it, and be nice about it. And if you've got a rebuttal to it, somebody's comment, be civil about it. Because if I see any shit that's crazy, I don't know that I'll mute you forever, but I'll definitely delete like the bullshit. I don't go for that. And also, by the way, the way we used to get it last year, before they deplatformed us and took away the 113,000 followers on Rumble that we have the little bots showing back up trying to fleece you out of your hard-earned money. Follow me on my Telegram channel. And they're trying to be sneaky. They're coming in on a reply because I see the comments, right? If you see somebody making a comment, especially on your comment, requesting that you follow them on Telegram or click this link, whatever, make a comment on an update, not on a video that you may have seen it on, but on the update so I know to go and I can get these guys and mute them forever, okay? Let's see. Now, also, Nino then had shows with John Pounders in addition to that. And then he also was going to have Oscar Ramirez on and actually had his thumbnail promoting that, but then Oscar was traveling somewhere in Mexico, could not make that show. He was wondering aloud hoping that Oscar was safe and that no harm had come to him. I'll say this, that after that show, I actually saw Oscar on a segment with Jack Posobiec on Real America's Voice, so I will say that Oscar seems to be safe and out of harm's way, at least for now. But yeah, Josh had his daily dose multiple times. DEF CON, they did a breakdown of the State of the Union. If you didn't watch the State of the Union and you listened to them, you would have thought that it was the greatest speech of all time. And I'm not saying it wasn't. I thought that Trump did a very good job. He came on late. He went late. He minimized the Democrats' ability to come in with their rebuttal and address anything that he said. Not that when I say he minimized it, because they had to then come on so late, I would think that many, especially on the East Coast, didn't stick around because they were not going to be coming on till, I don't even know what it was, 11:30 maybe Eastern. He went over 2 hours, and that's after starting late. And then he had his 10-minute exit where he even shook Fetterman's hand. And if you know whoever it is, I don't know who this guy was, but there was that guy that about halfway up the aisle, he had like a goatee, gray-haired guy, and he kept trying to get Trump to acknowledge him. And Trump just, number one, walked by him initially. Then I feel purposely stopped right beyond him and actually acknowledged 2 or 3 other individuals. Meantime, this guy is still trying to get in over his shoulder, like, hey. I would hate to be that guy. I hope that I never have been that guy that is clamoring to try to get the attention of somebody. Oh, pick me, pick me. If you know who that guy was, please make a comment, because I don't know. I did not go and like, it wasn't like that major of a deal to me. I wasn't going to go try to like figure it out, but that was just one of the things that stuck out about me, right? But I'll say this also. In that they went into, at least in one of the daily doses for the Guardians and or the whatever, they went in talking about the weapons. Now, being ex-Navy as he is, Alpha being former Marine, Semper Fi, both of them claiming they have contacts. The discombobulation weapon that was used in Venezuela. I have firsthand knowledge from somebody that witnessed that firsthand in Iraq in 2008. We've had it. Now the question is, what else do we have? And at what point does maybe any of it become known? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Redacted was back with 2 shows this week that we highlighted. Obviously, Clayton and Natalie, they're hit or miss. They're not my go-to every day, right? But when I find things that really are like, okay, boom, this looks like a good segment, listen to it. Okay, yeah, let's post it. I had to post the one where they talked about, we know that we've learned that the CIA was involved in the assassination of El Muncho. Muncho, whatever. Potato, patata. What is it? Incorporate. Something incorporated, right? Anyways. Does that surprise anybody? Now, now let's go back now to one of the things that they discussed, talking now Alpha and Josh on the DEF CON, was that the statement that Trump made that we took them out. We, as in us, as in USA, as in CIA, as in whatever, special forces. We took them out. Not the Mexican Army, not the Mexican Marines, not the Mexican Special Forces. We took them out. And then we watch all hell break loose in Mexico as a result of it. What was funny, not funny, but I mean, I was curious and worried to an extent about my friends. They had a birthday party that a number of them went down to Cabo San Lucas, literally the day before all this shit broke out. Now, by their accounts, all quiet on the Western Front, right? Nothing crazy took place in Cabo. They enjoyed their vacation there, like little getaway, birthday getaway for our friend. But yeah, if you were an American living in Mexico, and you know that this had to have been broadcast all over Mexican news, how could you not have been somewhat concerned? Right? Anyways, then he also had a brand new individual. I've never heard of this guy. I'm going to now, as I do when I come across good shit. Derek Bruce, I guess he's been working on a project because they were talking about 17 different episodes that he's done, and now coming to a finalization of his deep dive he's been doing for years and breaking it into 2 long segments that really provide the analysis and very high level intel and to those families, those individuals that truly do control the world, right? Talking about the black nobility and all the families therein. And he basically put it out there. It's like there's 300 people in this world that run the world. 8 billion people on the planet, 300 of them really shape everything about our life. I would have to think that 8 billion people could take down 300 if we really, really, really wanted to. Right? We'll have to see what happens, right? But they go into a deep dive on the pyramid of power. Look for more. I'm going to go do some searching and see if I can find these like short individual segments that they referenced in this video. And I'm hoping that it's like the series that Fall of the Cabal from years ago that we highlighted probably 3 different times that really kind of like connected all the dots in every aspect. Yeah, so we'll go see, right? Yeah, but during this my like emergency the other night, our go-to guy that I think I mentioned it. I mean, when we need when the family needs something, this is a individual that is a plumbing and HVAC, aficionado that came over that night and was able to at least get the leak stopped. And then the next morning came in and did the repairs on the different joints that needed to be at that point to be replaced to make sure that at least for the short term, shit's done. Now we've got other projects that are going to be necessitated over the next month or 2 that needs to be replaced because I guess we've got this really, really mineral-rich, hard water that has a negative impact on the piping, right? And I've got extensive, all types of piping, including the radiant flooring, right? Kind of scary, right? But anyways, in the conversation that I had with him in the following day, he's of like mind, but we got into certain aspects, and there were things he was poking and prodding me on that I can't tell you. And he's, what do you mean? Come on, man. I'm like, no, I mean, some shit I know I can't share, right? But what I did share with him was the aspect of the whole, like, because he was, in his mind, it was all, Hillary and Obama and like, they were the top of the food chain. Like, not even close. And he said, well, who is that? I was like, go research it. Go research black nobility. And then when you know it, as fate would have it, the next day, I come across this redacted episode. And I was like, oh, okay, wow. Isn't it funny how that happens? Gene Decode was back with Upfront with the prophetic. And first time as a notated on that show that he's been on with her for 3 years, right? But it's a good show, right? You get everything, the world according to Gene. Who is Gene's avatar then in that? Triple G. Gene, the dancing machine. Couple triple G's right at you. And Ishmael's back. Now, on his show on Wednesday, I should say, he made it sound like he had indicated he was going to be gone both Saturday and Monday. I don't recall that. I know that he was going to be absent on Saturday last week, as I spoke about on Tuesday. I don't remember hearing that he was going to be gone Monday. Anyways, he's back. Good update. We'll look for his update tomorrow also, and then we'll talk about that on Tuesday. But all the new developments according to his contact, Valiant Thor. Now, Wowza. Has to go to one of our Woo videos. And in the title begins, I don't know, I know it's not the full title, but the new rapture. And the reason that I gave this a Wowza this week was because in this video, they go hard down the rabbit hole in a subject hypothesis that I put out, I don't know, a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. And I believe it was probably after, and I don't know, I could be wrong. I'm just trying to connect dots in my own head. Right? After maybe the most recent or one of the repost of the Revelation series that I've done over the years with Monkeyworks and his two pastor friends, James Cadis and Pastor Tom Hughes. And I mean, it was just me thinking out loud during those sessions a year and a half, 2 years ago, when I was in my mind, okay, what if the rapture isn't about the world ending as much as it is of us ascending from one dimension to another? And that those that are ready, and now we've, moved fast forward, and, we've introduced and included now Ishmael Perez into our lineup, right? Regular lineup, I should say. And he's spoken of the multiple tiered ascension steps that he's been told that that's what we're going to go through. There'll be the first tier of those that are already at a higher level. Then there'll be the time where those that are maybe in that fourth dimension, but that are just good people, then they will ascend as it becomes apparent to them that, wow, shit's hitting the fan. I better get right with God. And then there will be that third and final one. And in one of his most recent shows, maybe within the last 2 months, he talked about those three happening relatively quickly. And I look at it and go, okay, if we go through that, is that not more, especially in that third step, that third wave, would that be more in line with the 7 years of tribulation, where all of those that are left, hell on earth, but still have the ability to come to Jesus? It's that come to Jesus moment. Okay, you got my attention. I get it. I'm ready. Beam me up, Scotty. Right? I just found that and I have a file that I created a few months ago, and it was for those Woo videos that really, really captured something in me, right? And there's probably less than 5 even though I post them daily, at least one a day. There's only 5 in that folder. This is one of them. So if you haven't watched that one, especially if you're at any point in this journey, I would strongly urge you to go watch that video. But for now, let's do this. All right, so as noted, there really wasn't a lot of drama that I saw. No Johnny drama. In the State of the Union, there were some good comms. There were some good points that got hammered home. It was a brilliant move on Trump's part. If you, number one goal you feel is to protect the American people, please stand up. If your goal is to protect the illegal immigrants, go ahead, stay seated. They had to have been sitting there going, that son of a bitch. He just really did this, didn't he? Yeah, he did. Oh, my God. That was my ventriloquist impersonation. Was that any good? I don't know. Tell me what you think. As we noted, though, he went for 2 hours. He minimized the ability to give a very, formidable rebuttal by the Dems. But there's, since then, though, it's been to me, I look at it as kind of like an anticlimactic 3 days, but in the same respect, you've had the courts now side with the DOJ that they're not going to order them to stop the investigation into Ilhan Omar's newfound wealth. Oh my God, I went from being worth 65 grand 6 years ago to like 30 million now. So much has been made about the illegal marriage. Why is it, again, why no arrests? We're seeing arrests across the pond. We're seeing people stepping down. I get it. Okay, ongoing investigations, grand juries, more than just the Epstein's files that we're battling against. Are we, as many are alluding to, about to see just a crazy month of March, right? The Ides of March. But at this point, you look at the ruling from the court, you look at everything that's taken place this week. Just another brick in the wall, right? Silver markets going as expected with the manipulation, up and down. Again, are the white hats controlling this, allowing the Western banking to survive? Because again, as has been spoken of, if you completely destroy the banking system in the West, how long does it take to recover? Does it ever recover? Do we actually recover? So if all those small fish gamblers in the silver markets, silver paper markets, end up getting force majeured out, as many did over the last 48 hours, chose to, and many of the banks are at least softening the financial blow that they're going to take as they have switched from all their shorts to all their longs. And now, at some point in the future, as the silver market is allowed to go on a natural path, will they offset the losses they're going to incur in a short period of time? That brings in the question of who is OG John AG? We know he's AI, but was he created by the White Hats to try to get the message out to as many of you that are still watching, are actually watching channels like this or others similar, to like, this is your last call. You don't have to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here, right? Time to do something. Boom. Miles Franklin, links are below, right? What's the blood moon going to bring on Tuesday? What is the silver markets going to open up on Monday? Like I said, we flirted with 95. I actually think we hit 95 at one point today, only to pull back into 93 territory, only to go back up into 94. So where do we open up on Monday? I think that has a lot to do with everything that's going to go on. Huckabee ordering all personnel, all citizens, fuck the personnel, excuse my French, all citizens in Israel. Last plane out. Time to go. Get the hell out of Dodge. What's going to happen this weekend, right? Bill's under the microscope today. Hillary's yesterday. I've never even met Epstein. I'm sorry. There are so many pictures of you, Bill, and Epstein, and Ghislaine, and other people together. And I know you never met Jeffrey Epstein, but Ghislaine Maxwell was at your daughter's wedding. Right there. Perjury, lying to Congress, right? Bill coming out with his opening statement today. If I had ever known he was doing that, I would have reported him. Where'd that blue dress come from, Bill? Right? Where'd the blue dress come from? All right. Anyways, let's do the will. We're going to take a minute right here. I'm going to focus in on what I call screenshots, images of a time in my life that I lived, I experienced, vacation, business, whatever, time in my life where I lived, whatever. On three. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Make a guess. Play along. See if you can get it. Hopefully I send out some strong vibrations, some strong frequencies. Anyways, for now, unless something major comes up between now and Tuesday, get outside. Springtime is arriving. It's getting close. At least we're getting out of the hellacious winter. I think I've dealt with the hardest winter that I've gone through since I've moved here 7 years ago. As far as snowfall, temperature-wise, everything, right? Crazy-ass winter. We're getting to springtime now. Get out, smell the roses, right? I'll be back on Tuesday. Who is John Galt?